Hello, gorgeous soul. How are you? This video is finding you. There are no accidents. You are ready. I'm Morgan. I'm an Akashic Records practitioner and healer, and I work primarily in assisting others for mending their wounded or broken hearts and connecting soulmate energy. And I love using the records for helping people understand what steps they need to take, what they need to heal in order to embody the frequency of manifesting a soulmate. Anytime we want to manifest anything, the best thing that we can do, we need to embody the frequency and maintain the same vibration. And we can do that by doing our deep, deep soul healing. We can also do that by our day-to-day actions and choices. One of the ways that I have been guided to be working with people, not only in the spiritual sense, but also in the practical steps. In order to receive a soulmate, it is super important that we have anchored in our values and our relationship skills. As we heal, as we evolve, as we grow, as we accumulate new knowledge and we learn new things, we have new tools. And the tools from our past relationships don't always continue to serve our highest good. And it's really important to constantly assess and reassess, where am I at with my relationship tools? So whether you're in the process of setting your intentions, whether your intentions have been delivered out to the universe for a soulmate to show up into your reality, or you have recently met a potential soulmate, these are very important things for you to be doing in this time frame. It is really important to know that when we ask the universe to assist us in manifesting something, we ask the universe to bring us our soulmate. The universe is going to bring us our soulmate. We need to stay in that knowing. And when they have brought us our soulmate, the universe is then going to ask us, are you ready to grow in love rather than be in love? Because that is two different energies. And whereas we can definitely be in love, and that feels really good when we meet somebody new, the prospect of meeting our soulmate has this very uplifting, fun, joyful, juicy energy about it. The steps to take, the skills required to continue to grow in love are what is going to work for us in the long haul. It's often said that sometimes love is not enough, and this is why. Because just being in love cannot carry us through difficult conversations, cannot carry us through misaligned values. Love in itself cannot carry us through tough conversations and difficult times where we need to stop and assess and be able to communicate with somebody about our wounds. And so the more that we can uncover these aspects of ourselves, the more we can get clear on our values, the more we're going to be able to bring all of us to a relationship to grow in love. Values are very, very, very crucial and key to have laid out and mapped out before you manifest a soulmate. This is part of your intention process. And whereas putting your values on paper is an amazing and important step, it is equally important that you begin straight away practicing how you embody your own values. How do you interact with your own values? For example, if you value excellent communication, but you find yourself, you're not maybe wanting to do something, and instead of telling somebody no, you just let the text or the phone call linger and you don't return it. Well, that's sending conflicting signs to the universe saying, hey, you're asking for a partner with excellent communication, yet you aren't communicating very well in these aspects and these areas. And it's really important to look at why we might be going to avoidance rather than communicating from the heart if something feels difficult or we don't feel in our own power enough just to say no. And so when we can catch ourselves maybe not following through with our values the way that we really feel like we do, or hope that we do, or desire that somebody honors, we have good points of working on ourselves, good points of growth. So we have these little teaching gems that show up when we can recognize where we might not be fully embodying our values. Another area is, how do we talk and think about ourselves? This is super, super, super important. Not only for manifesting a soul partner that speaks to us lovingly, that thinks of us lovingly, but it's how we can grow and evolve through situations. If we don't think positive thoughts about ourselves, or our first response is to be like, oh, that was really dumb, why did I do that? The more we can catch ourselves in breaking that loop and rewording how we're speaking and thinking about ourselves, that will allow us to embody this different frequency, where we will only attract relationships across all areas and aspects of our life. You might be in a place where the universe is like, okay, I can see that you're really working on this self-talk thing, and bring you this beautifully loving soul partner who thinks highly and talks lovingly of you, yet you still might be manifesting a coworker or a work situation, or something outside of the realm of this romantic partnership that is really challenging you in this area. So it's important to look beyond the scope of a soulmate when we're seeing how our values, how aligned we are with our values, and how that's manifesting back into our life. Another really important thing to have clear on is our boundary around intimacy. What do we need in order for it to get physical? So let's face it, when we meet somebody new, we can be really caught up in this wave of chemistry, and chemistry feels amazing. And it's so, everybody wants a relationship that's just like, oh, the chemistry from the get-go is so great. Well, chemistry it's amazing, it's great, and it's powerful, but it's just that it's chemicals, it's chemistry, and chemicals need to be constantly supplied in order to keep us in this state. And one of the biggest obstacles I see working with people is getting in this energy of chemistry and going full in on it without having clear boundaries and understanding about what you need in terms of emotional intimacy in order to coincide with the physical intimacy part. It's not often the problem of the physical connection between a couple. It's that one feels like the other one is not letting them in, or they're not connected in this emotional, but the spark is there and something is just off. The more you can get clear on your boundaries as, okay, these first few months when I meet somebody, we're going to just get really clear on our values. Are our values really aligned? How do I value physical intimacy? How do I value emotional intimacy? What do I need for the two of them to coincide? And hey, am I comfortable enough to tell this person about my boundaries and values? Because this brings us to another point. How comfortable are you speaking up for your needs and speaking up for your values? Are you comfortable enough knowing that if a potential possibility that has been brought into your world is not in alignment, are you in your power enough to say, okay, thank you, but that's just not for me? And sometimes the universe will test us by bringing somebody into our world where really the reason they're there is for us to show the universe we have healed and we have reclaimed our power and we are standing in it, to where we can say if someone or a situation or a potential relationship is or is not in alignment for us, and we can thank it and thank the universe and say, hey, I'm really proud of myself. This was not in alignment for me. I can see how far I've come, how much I've healed, and you better believe the universe is going to bring you a new possibility that is aligned because you are able to stay in your power. Staying in your power can be tricky. It is not something that we tend to think about it. We're either in our power or out of our power. And sometimes there are shades of gray, and we can get caught in these areas of confusion when we're meeting somebody. And this can look like us wanting to know if this person's going to commit, if we really, are we meant to be, are we soulmates? And it's important when you're feeling you're getting into this energy of wanting to know what the future is going to look like, to stop and take a pause and ask yourself, why is this happening? Why am I so fixed on out here rather than right here? What is uncomfortable about this? And really, sometimes really digging into a new type of love, a new type of relationship can feel really uncomfortable. Even though it's positive and it's good, it's foreign, it's new, it's different. We haven't experienced it before. And it can be a very common response to want to kind of leap forward and know that we're on the right track. But the important journey and the key pieces of building a proper foundation and understanding as a couple how to grow in love is getting through those uncomfortable phases that are new. This can happen as well when you are alone, waiting for a soulmate to manifest. It can feel really uncomfortable sometimes being alone. It can feel really uncomfortable in the waiting period, feeling like you've done all this work. And everyone says if you embody the frequency, you set your intention, and you hold the vibration, you should have those things. And well, they're not here. That can be very uncomfortable. So it's important to just keep remembering, how do we fill up our own cup so we can pour from a full cup, so we can be there fully into this intention. We can show up fully to receive this manifestation. Receiving is another critical area that can come up for people. Sometimes it can feel really good and comfortable and nice to give. It can feel a little bit strange to receive. And so if you're having this discomfort or this lack of ease around receiving, especially when you are waiting for your soulmate, this is an ideal time to continue to work on receiving. Because imagine when your soulmate comes into your world, you want to be able to receive them. You want to receive them into your world. You want to receive the love that they have. You want to receive the gifts that they're going to assist you in evolving in and growing in. And it's equally important when you have met that person to continue to work on your receptivity, because you can continue to turn that up. You can continue to receive. The more you give, the more you're able to receive, and it can create this really beautiful flow and synergy between the two of you. I hope these were helpful tips on what to do in the space of between intention and actually manifesting your soulmate. Please know I have a very beautiful program called Awakening Your Soulmate Within that is designed to assist you in just these things. If you're interested, you can pop over to morganrockwell.com. You can book a free call. I would love to have you inside of the class and continue to assisting you in growing your soulmate relationship so you can continue to grow in love. Stay tuned. There will be a lot more of these offering tips about how to learn to grow in love.